Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with some Pokemon Snap live gameplay, as you can tell by the watch bar in the bottom.
Yeah, no. So fun fact, we got it had of course it had to be the finale, but we goofed. We got
It's okay. You
goofed.
can say I goofed. It's okay.
Ben goofed, primarily Ben goofed. He paused the wrong audio for the video. So
Yeah.
so
Basically,
yeah.
for a few episodes of Snap and a few episodes of Breath of the Wild, actually, I accidentally had it to where the desktop output was recording as well, and since we had it to where we were monitoring the audio through the desktop output, it was doubling up. So I tried to mute the desktop audio to where you guys couldn't hear that, but then I muted the microphone instead because I'm a fucking idiot. So
Luckily we caught it by like the time we finished.
yeah, no, we
Like
recorded.
before we started recording anything else, so it's just the finale of Pokemon Snap, but
Yeah,
we're here to record that with you guys now.
uh huh. And just kind of give you our thoughts on the ending because I have so many.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna let it play. And just so everybody knows, I definitely failed this level the first time. But we're gonna watch
Yeah.
that footage anyway because we need 20 minutes of stuff to talk over for the format of this show.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it works. I'm sorry, but you guys are just going to have to sit tight through that.
And I don't know, it feels weird because like uh fucking we're watching it back rather than actually playing it. But I guess we don't even have to talk about the game if we don't want to.
That's true. We could talk about anything right now.
So I know I've brought this up with you before, but isn't it kind of weird that like you could get together a few middle class people from the U.S., smuggle out some weapons, and just like go take over a village in some third world country?
Yeah, like weapons that honestly aren't very hard to get our hands on.
Yeah,
Like like Ben, I am literally like a few grand away from owning an African village. Like I'm a few grand and a plane ticket and a hell of a lot of gumption away from owning an
yeah.
African village.
Okay, so here I apparently could have just like literally thrown an Illumina orb and very quickly taken a picture of it, but Xerneas decided to be a bitch about it.
Yeah, and there's honestly a couple. I mean, given this is the first run through, like there was a couple moments where like either Lumina orbs like hit but didn't hit, or like I can't remember. Do we have to like hit it twice or something? It's something
Yeah, you
weird.
gotta hit it twice and then hit it again in its actual Pokemon form so it can
Yeah,
get glowy tattoos.
yeah, and it was a weird thing where it just took us forever to figure that out. I think we even had to look it up, didn't we?
Yeah, no. Because, like, I thought I hit it a couple times here, but I just didn't. I was just missing, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and this mural that. I'm not gonna talk about it yet, but. That mural that depicts Xerneas and the other Illumina Pokemon protecting the land from a meteor shower.
Yes, which I have a lot of things to say about that when it becomes time to say them.
Yes, but it's some really cool lore that I'm sure we're gonna hear more about and like get more answers about the ancient people who made the mural and apparently worshipped Xerneas for this heroic act.
Yeah, and honestly, like that's one thing that I don't mind in video games is a lore dump. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a lore dump, get some answers, because like especially since like in this game specifically, it's like we've been trying to like scientifically discover the origins of the Illumina Pokemon,
Yeah, and
and like
so it would be really cool to like understand that more.
yeah, so we'll get there. We'll get
We'll
there.
get there. But yeah, this I do like this last level though. These ruins are a really cool setting for it.
No, and I like the whole tree thing that they had going on at the beginning, and you'll see
Mm-hmm.
at the end. But
I do have to say, the level to unlock this, where we had to snipe all the different flowers around that one big ass
that
room, that was a
was intense.
really good level.
Yeah,
It's probably my favorite level of the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, you know that like there's some poor fucking kid who's like racking his brain trying to figure out how to complete that level right now, and that makes me really happy because I was that kid at one point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Different games, of course, but
Uh-huh. I never really had a like pre-internet time of gaming where like
yeah,
I couldn't look stuff up.
yeah. See, me neither, because so if you guys don't know, I don't know if I've talked about it or not, but my family growing up was very like anti video games. I wasn't like allowed to have anything, and it wasn't until I turned like 13 and my friend gifted me with like an Xbox. I think it might have been 14 even. My friend gifted me an Xbox, and I bought like Oblivion at Bimart, and that was like all I had. I had Oblivion and like Modern Warfare 3.
And that friend, Barack Obama.
Yeah, fun fact. That was back in his senator days.
Yeah.
Called him Senator Barack back then. But anyway, long story short, I mean, it's like 2014 when I started playing video games like heavily, and so I obviously had the world at my fingertips as far as like phones and stuff, and I could have easily looked everything up, but I ain't a bitch, and I always try to do everything like as much as I can before looking it up,
Oh
unless
yeah.
unless I've played the game before. Like for example, I'm replaying Far Cry 4 right now, and like I'll like every other day I'm like, all right, what's like the mission line? Like what should I, what's coming up next? Like what do I have to prepare for? Like oh shit, that mission's coming. I hated that mission. Like I gotta emotionally prepare myself because I've said it before. I'm trying to 100% all of the Far Cry games before I buy Far Cry 6, and it is quite the undertaking.
Bro, I saw this post the other day that was like, you're only allowed to play one for the rest of your life, or like, you're only allowed to play one. Which one is it? And it was all 6 Far Cry games. I'm like, I've never played a Far Cry game before, but I'll play Far Cry 6 just so I can spoil all these losers on the internet.
Yeah, see, now that's a good option. If I'm playing one forever, even though I haven't finished Far Cry 2 and I've never played Far Cry 1, I think it would be Far Cry 3. It's the first game that I played as far as the Far Cry games go. Because I think when I started playing it, it was the only one. I mean, obviously 1 and 2 were out, but like 3 or 4, 5, and 6 had never been out yet. And
yeah, 3 was the one that my dad got really into also.
Yeah, it's just honestly like the best Far Cry game I've played so far. Like you get the feeling, like you get the like all Far Cry games are exactly the same. Like fucking at me, but I'll fight anyone on this. Every single Far Cry game is exactly the same. That being said, Far Cry 3 did it best. They had the best villain monologue. Like you played that game and you actually believed that the guy you were fighting against was like a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like he was just crazy, and they did it. They did that very, very well.
By the way, it was at the end of the other half of this video. I switched over to a different video file. But what the fuck was I doing at the end there? I was literally just drawing circles around the screen with the cursor. I guess we must have been talking, and I just like didn't have anything else to do. Okay, but here we go. Here is the successful level.
Yeah,
because I looked.
This is a playthrough worth watching.
But again, we needed to pad the runtime of the episode, honestly. So
yeah, sorry. I mean, we're generous gods. We stopped playing Lego Star Wars, and I think that's like the nicest thing I've ever done for a group of people I've never met.
That Lego Star Wars play, it had its moments for sure, but like that game, we were still getting used to fucking doing this in 2, and like neither of us were that into the game. Like
yeah, and also like there's just moments that we should have edited out, but we didn't.
Yeah,
and of us just trying to figure out Lego puzzles, and then like it's like one level is like 3 episodes long. And it's just us like, how the fuck do we put these things together?
Yeah, I've never been huge on Lego games anyway.
I beg to differ. I'm a big fan of Lego games. Like one of the first video games I ever played, like when I was little, my sister had like a PS2 and she had Lego Indiana Jones. And I loved Indiana Jones as a kid. Like one of my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, I played the crap out of Lego Indiana Jones, and then it was Lego Batman, and then Lego Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Could not get that one out.
Yeah, Lego Carrots of the Pyrobean.
Yeah, of course. Lego Parrots of the Pyrobean.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, literally, I used to play them with my grandma because Lego games are her favorite, and like
Yeah.
I've just literally since I was a kid. It's not that they're like bad games or anything. Most of them, anyway. They're just not for me, and I can't quite put my finger on why.
Yeah, and also there's at least with the older ones. I don't know if the newer ones are similar, but like in the older ones, like when you get into like the I'm gonna complete the whole game mindset and not the I'm just playing this game because it's fun mindset. It is so repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's only 3 different kinds of levels.
Yeah,
and they're all pretty much the same, just different settings.
and you probably like with the Star Wars ones and stuff have to go through them again and again and again with all different kinds of characters and
Yeah. So exactly, that's true. Because if you want to like 100% things, you have to go through. You pretty much have to replay the game once you unlock all the characters.
Yeah.
And then replay it again for all the characters that you didn't have unlocked that you had to unlock to redo other levels. Like.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I guess plot stuff is happening now. Xerneas is just like playing with a rainbow or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about Xerneas, but they seem like if the Dark Side of the Moon album was a Pokemon. So there you go. For what that's worth.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I think Xerneas might have just given Panzermatos radiation poisoning.
Actually, this entire thing has pretty much been like a trip.
Yeah.
She's dying in a hospital bed right now on a Lentil Island, in a makeshift hospital tent by seen to by Professor Mir, who has no medical no medical know-how of any kind.
By the way, I don't know how I haven't noticed this until just now, but Panzermatos has the fucking cutest socks I've ever goddamn seen in my life.
Oh shit. The sock game's strong with Panzermatos.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a straight male. I think socks can be cute.
Socks. No, that's the one thing I've definitely picked up from hanging around my girlfriend is I say things are cute a lot more often than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
That being said, it is definitely a change in my vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. Usually my usually my choice of phrasing on that is fucking adorable.
Yes.
And yeah, cutest goddamn thing I've ever seen. I probably use like 5% of the time.
No, that one's pretty often too. I'd say I'd bump that up to an even 15, honestly.
Mm. Oh, we did it. We beat the game.
Woo! All right, lore dump time. Let's go.
Uh-huh. So we were right to believe there was another Illumina Pokemon. The mural was spot on.
All right.
Which raises the question, did things really happen the way the mural depicts them? Now, this is a question that the game poses, so that means
the game must answer
it. A barrier big enough to cover the whole Lentil region. That's gotta be what happened, of course.
Naturally. There's no other explanation.
The people who built the ruins long ago helped the Illumina Pokemon, of course. Because clearly building ruins in their homes helps them.
Yes.
So much that it's still tired after a 2,000-year nap. That's how much power it took to fucking stop these meteors. For a legendary Pokemon, by the way. Basically a demigod. And, like, stopping a meteor is enough energy that 2,000 years has to pass.
Yes.
Oh, and why is it that Panzermatos was able to meet the Illumina Pokemon?
Yeah, that's true. Why her and everyone else?
See, her socks are adorable.
That's what it is. It has to be.
Clearly.
Clearly, there's no other explanations. It's the math adds up.
So, why? This is the reason behind Panzermadels being able to meet all the Illumina Pokemon. We're about to hear it.
It's so simple. Do you really not know, Professor?
Of course, Professor. It's so simple.
How, you absolute fool with a doctorate. How can you not fucking see?
Right?
Now, Sam, can you? Because you like described this really well. Can you describe what happened after that sentence? Like the emotion in the room, what you saw.
Oh, so Ben fucking lost his shit, and I was like, Ben, no, Ben, it's okay, Ben, no, calm down, man, it's all good, and
Because that's
Ben
why
was
I
angry.
hate that this was muted, because I fucking lost my shit. Like,
it
okay.
was a culmination of having to listen to that one annoying bitch over and over and over again, only to get no answers, to get fucking nowhere with the plot, to get like to only pretty much just be shit on by the Pokemon devs.
Yeah, okay, so basically, reading that final scene, so the biggest mysteries of the game were what happened 2,000 years ago, and what was the people's relationship with the Illumina Pokemon, and also why are Illumina Pokemon showing up for Panzermadels. So we know that what the Illumina Pokemon did for the people 2,000 years ago was stop that big-ass meteor.
We don't even know that for sure. It's all hypothesis.
That's true. No, yeah, and part of that hypothesis is a big fucking bubble around the Lentil region. That is the most prominent explanation that we are given from fucking Rita, by the way.
Yeah, we're like
she's like maybe they made a big bubble around the region to stop the meteors, and the professor's like, by God, that's it.
The surface tension alone is too powerful. It had to stop the meteors.
And then she's like, yeah, and that's why Xerneas has been napping for 2,000 years. And he's like, of course.
I follow completely. I also take naps when I overexert myself.
He's like, I'm going to publish this. I'm going to be famous for my research. And then also, why the people built those ruins near the Illumina Pokemon. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares?
Listen, the only thing that matters is that Pokemon be popping off and bubbles be bopping, alright?
Also, the reason Panzermadels can fucking meet the Illumina Pokemon is because she loves Pokemon, and so of course the Pokemon automatically and immediately love her back.
I think, now see, like, I understand what they're going for here, because, like, it's not just Panzermadels, it's you, right? Like, you love Pokemon, you're special, like, you, the player, are the reason that, like, everything can happen the way it does. And, like, I appreciate that for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I understand that this is a game primarily made for children.
Mm-hmm.
But the massive dick slap of the main, like, plot ending being like, oh yeah, the friends we made along the way, pretty much. Like, I just, like, you could do better than that. Like, because, like, the thing is also is, like, yes, I appreciate that this is a kid's game. Like, don't, that is not lost on me.
Yeah.
But also, like, you gotta understand that, like, most of the people playing Pokemon games are children, but a lot of them are also, like, adults or people who grew up playing Pokemon. People like us who, like, played Pokemon Snap when we were younger, or more recently for me.
Yeah,
and
well, for me too. I that was my first time playing Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, but kids guys our age have played Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people our age had N64s as kids.
Yeah, exactly. I had one when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I had Yoshi's Story, Star Wars Pod Racers, and Kirby 64, and that was it. But yeah, so it's like you just, like, for the people, please Nintendo, for the people who actually, like, are developed enough to understand, like, plot reasonings, Like, throw us a bone for fuck's sake. Like,
Like I
answer at least 2 of our questions.
I appreciated the ending of the very first game because the first game wasn't like lore heavy at all. There was like
Yeah.
some weird goings-ons around the place, and we basically knew that there was a secret level at the end, and that's what everything was building up to. And so
Yeah.
even though the ending of that one was absurd and didn't make any sense, like, oh, someone in the sky did it. Like,
Fucking Professor Oak.
I look back on that very fondly of, like, that's a great ending to the game just because, like, it's silly and weird, and so was literally the whole rest
The
of the
whole
game.
game. Yeah,
Where, like, this
exactly.
one, it didn't have the same energy. It felt like it was trying to be something cohesive with a story, but, like, didn't have an ending that, like...
Yeah. Like, trying to tie... It was like... I felt like it was trying to tie in, like, unexplained elements of the first game and, like, these new goings-on and, like, all this other stuff, and it was just, like... It did none of that very well.
Also, fuck Todd. Todd, I don't understand why he's in this game. The little kid, like, I understand them bringing back, or no, Todd was Cocker's other name. What was the little boy's name?
I pushed that guy out of my memory. All I know
Phil,
is he
that
said,
was it.
"You always get the best shots."
Yeah, no, and, like, I don't fucking understand why he was even in the... Was he supposed to be, like, our rival? Because, like, he wasn't. We never had to compete with him over anything. He was always
Right?
complaining that we were way better than him.
That's the thing, is like that's the worst rival ever. Like
Yeah.
the rival that admits that you're like they're better. Like that's no rival at all.
I would have fucking loved it if halfway through Gawkers came in as the rival, and like he like found 3 Illumina Pokemon on his first day or something, and like he's
Yeah.
like, all right, it's a race to find the secret Illumina Pokemon, and then we finally overcome him in the end. Like,
Yeah.
that, like, and then fucking get rid of all the ancient meteor bullshit. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. And,
I
like,
would've
this game would have been cool.
I would have even appreciated like some fucking like if we were gonna like lean into the rival aspect, like
Mhm.
having like a mini game or something like that.
Yeah.
Where like you play it and like if you get a good enough score, you're like the best Pokemon photographer at camp, right?
Uh-huh.
And then like maybe even take it as far as like you get different endings depending on like how good of a photographer you are.
Yeah.
Like in standing with the camp. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Of course, a little bit beyond the scope of maybe a game like this, but
Uh-huh. Also, something I just remembered. Wasn't there a researcher from 100 years ago that they, like, constantly talked about throughout the game that had literally 0 bearing on the ending of the game?
fuck, I forgot about that guy. It was like some Captain Cook sailor motherfucker who was just like, you know, where they were like, it was like, he literally like drove the entire first half of the story, and they're like, oh, he hasn't been into this area yet. Like, it didn't exist when he was researching. So
Uh-huh.
all that out the fucking window.
Yeah, no, like, they were like, that's why the 5th island, the ice island, is uncharted, because the captain guy never went there. And then, like, fucking we go there, it's fully charted already, by the way. And then he's never brought up again. Ever.
Yeah. It's like, it hasn't been charted, but it's been charted.
Yeah. Oh, no, we just meant it wasn't charted by this one specific guy who we're basing literally all of our research on.
But has no bearing on the plot or what little plot there is whatsoever.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so basically, we have, for all our hard work, for all 20-something episodes of this game we played, we have maybe the Illumina Pokemon used a big bubble to save the ancient people. And
Force fields are such a common, like, sci-fi explanation. Like, oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, no, it was a force field.
And to thank the Illumina Pokemon, the people built buildings in the Illumina Pokemon's homes.
Yes. They were like, here. You know, yeah, that's the same way we think natives. That tracks. I don't understand what's wrong with that.
And then, okay, there was something else that... and then the explanation behind the Illumina Pokemon is it's Xerneas' power. That's what the Crystal Blooms are, and that's what the Illumina Pokemon are. And it's just Xerneas is the whole explanation, which I guess is kind of lives up to the first game, because in the first game,
yes, it was all Mew.
Mew was literally the entire explanation and point of that game. But like, I don't know, it felt like they just
Somehow
really...
I bought that though. You know what I mean? Like I was like, they're like, oh, it's been Mew the whole time. I was like, oh yeah, no, that tracks.
No,
like,
because Gen 1, Mew was really the only Pokemon of its kind where, like, all the other Pokemon... It was the only Pokemon at the time not catchable in a game. And so, like, Mew was this mysterious figure who could have any power, really. But, like, there's so many Pokemon now that I feel like the only way this game's big legendary would have been satisfying would be a previously unheard of Pokemon, where, like, it feels like they could really slot in any Pokemon, any legendary Pokemon for Xerneas, and it would be the same. Like, I'd buy that everything was Celebi or Jirachi or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, new Pokemon Snap, not worth it.
10 out of
just
10.
Play the original. Yeah, if you want a game that makes you needlessly angry, but you don't have to deal with other people seeing you bad at a game in a competitive sense, like, this is the game for you. This game will make you angry.
Yeah, very, very angry.
Anyway, we're coming in on minute 26 here. We've literally been sitting on this paused image
long enough.
of our thoughts on this game, because we, like we said, we had so many thoughts about this game.
Yeah, Ben and I talked about this for like a full week after the episode.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just like man, fuck that game. Just
Anyway, hopefully you guys can be like, you guys didn't even play the post game. It clearly explains everything if you just play like 30 more minutes of gameplay, in which case I'm booting this game back up again. We're not
get everything to level 3 to get the lore dump.
Oh my god, that would take for fucking ever.
It probably is some bullshit like that. Comment down below if you actually know the answer, because I'm too lazy to Google it.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Like, subscribe, and check out whatever series is coming up next Friday. Because I remember you showed me a game, but I don't remember what the game is. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.